amadoda emadodeni. Men are trash. This is a hashtag that has been trending in a country where South African men have been the perpetrators of some of the most horrendous crimes against women and children. But amidst all these stereotypes are South African men who have stood up and said, "Not in my name." Men who have centered their careers around building better communities. These are men worthy of celebration, men of valor, amadoda emadodeni.
Many communities around South Africa are battling with a case of gender-based violence. The community of Tukomsrus is no exception. Here, GBV, drug and alcohol abuse, are part of the social ills that plague the streets and cast a dark shadow on the outlook and future prospects of the youth. Amidst all the controversy and despair, there is still a glimmer of hope in Tukomsrus, a man who has taken it upon himself to lead in shining the light and taking the forefront in the battle against gender-based violence in his community. Meet our man of valor, Enrique Bana.
Tukomsrus is my community, man. I grew up here. I'm still here. I stayed all my life here. I grew up in the dusty streets of Tukomsrus. Wonderful township, wonderful people. And Tukomsrus is very close to my heart. The young boys, the young girls that are growing up, I just want to make a difference and give them an opportunity to make or to be that shining light in this community.
Enrique is a former professional soccer player who played in the PSL before retiring to kickstart a new life in social activism and community building.
My name is Enrique Bana, so I'm the center manager at WAWA. WAWA is an abbreviation, so the word means Women Against Women and Children Abuse. So we are basically an overnight shelter for abused women and children. So from your gender-based violence, even substance abuse and all those things. So we are a place that they can actually run to.
The organization is currently working on a food production project for the community. By encouraging the planting of vegetables and other food stocks, local residents are able to learn farming skills.
It's about food sustainability, because we've seen we can't just give food parcels out and then tomorrow there's nothing. So we actually partnered with Ubuntu projects and Itemba projects. So what they do is we've got seeds that we plant on our own, and then we plant it in the yard where WAWA is based. So we want to plant it at all our centers within our reach that we can. So the main idea is to get men, boys, girls, women to be part of the process of planting and also taking the same seedlings that they're planting to their houses. I know there's not a lot of space in our cassis, and because of we don't have a lot of money in the yards, there's not space. So we are planning to have actually vertical gardening also, against your wall, where you can plant against your wall, and also eat at your own house. The things that you plant, you're gonna eat it. So from your spinach to everything that's beetroot, carrots, potatoes, tomatoes, all those things. So we partnered with a few guys that's donating us with seeds, and we just have to grow and get bigger and bigger. And that's a project that we're currently busy at WAWA.
Wow, this is certainly all inspiring. Now I'm quite interested to just go on a tour with you. Can we take a tour and you just show me how you guys do it all?
Let's do this.
Cool.
Welcome to WAWA, man.
WAWA is a non-profit organization with a rich history of supporting the community of Tukomsrus. As a support group, WAWA offers a wide range of services to victims of crime and violence. This includes domestic and gender-based violence.
2 years ago, where a cousin of mine was brutally murdered by her husband inside her own house, and that was just one of the, and it was during the time of the Karabo issue. So it was it's very close to my heart, and we as a family, we're still trying to deal with the trauma and the way in which it happened. So it's just, there's so much things that have happened in Tukomsrus. There's another case also that also happened on New Year's Eve, actually, where one beautiful girl was also brutally murdered.
One case to remember was that of late Danelle Rooskrans, which shook the entire community as she was beaten to death by her ex-boyfriend.
Our organization, we work tremendously hard, and we make a difference, even if it's in one person's life per day. Enrique Bana is my boss. I call him Mr. B. Very kind-hearted person, very strict, no nonsense taker, to the T. With him, I've learned so much and I've grown so much. If I have any challenges, I would also obviously come to him at any time because he gave us that opportunity to always feel free if one needs to talk to him about anything personal, private or social. So our relationship has grown stronger for over the time that I came and worked here at Wawa and him being my manager. So as I said, I've learned really a lot and I've grown. He made it possible for us to do trainings, got certificates in numerous adventures. And so for the person that he is, I think, I can't thank him enough for what I have become here. He has plowed into each and every one of us, me personally, because I was very shy and an introvert. But getting to know him, I've grown, I've learned, and I've become the best that I could possibly be.
My name is Jackie Matos. I'm a HIV coordinator and the treasurer at the Wawa. And Enrico is a good person. He learned a lot for the past 10 years. He started in a crucial time of Wawa, and he brought Wawa to a high level as it is now. He's a delicate person with a good relationship with his co-workers and with the board of management of this organization. It's always tried to improve the situation here by building the community at large, doing so many things. It's empower youth to empower themselves by doing food gardens and other causes. We already had what they call hairdresser from Wawa. All those things they made through with sacrifice and hard working.
When a woman runs to our center, she's actually fleeing with everything, you know. She's scared of her life, and then she comes to our place of, they call it a place of safety. We call it a place of hope. So when they come to our organization, we actually give them. We contain them so that they can be calm. We try to keep her calm because of the things that have been happening, either at the Shabin or at the house or wherever she comes from. After that, we obviously have to contain firstly, and then we make sure that she's gets something to eat, which is important. Obviously, hygiene is important. We give them a care pack. Yeah, and then the third thing would be for her to sleep overnight, because we have to keep her safe. Her life is in danger. We had one case that when someone ran and the perpetrator followed her, and that was one of the most horrific experience ever. But luckily, there is men on site when it comes to security, so they were obviously blocking the guy when he was charging, because there's always a follow. They say when something happens at home, 10 to 1, the husband or the boyfriend will follow the wife or the girlfriend. So luckily we have trained staff, security people that works overnight. We open 24 hours, and abuse cases happen normally during the night. And yeah, we're just here to assist as much as we can.
They say judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. Kodwa sonke siyazi uba yonke imithi inengcambu and is certainly firmly rooted in fine soil. So our man of valor also has a family, and people who can truly attest to his person. Let's go inside and let's meet Enrique and his family. Hey, how's it?
Man, how's it?
Awesome stuff, man.
Welcome to my house, man.
Thank you very much.
It's good.
Enrico and I have been married for 10 years now. Enrico has always been a humble, kind-hearted person, and always been caring for the community and for his family. Very loving guy. Enrico was always the go-to guy in the community. Neighbors, kids has always flocked to Enrico for help or whatever.
He's amazing, first of all. Like the best dad I could ever imagine. He's just there, I mean, for everyone.
It's all about getting, or how can I say, just making men aware to say that what are we gonna do as part of just to step away sometimes. We carry such a lot of loads amongst with us. So when things that don't work out in your marriage, in your relationship, in your whatever, just count to 10. You know what they say in anger management, just count to 10, guys. Especially the guys. I just plead to whoever, just don't put yourself in that hole.
Kind, generous, father figure, change maker, leader, and respected community builder. All these titles rhyme with this man's character. Enrique Bana is a man leading by example, certainly one worthy of emulation. We salute this man of valor, Enrique yindoda emadodeni.
South Africa niziva njani xa nibona amadoda afana no-Enrique Bana edlala indima ebaluleke kangaka emphakathini wabo? Let us all strive to be men of valor. Let us go out there and be part of the change. We came here to Tukomsres and we've seen absolutely phenomenal work. A gentleman worthy of being celebrated. I hope to see more of him out there in Mzansi each and every day.
And now we take you to Bryanston to meet two phenomenal brothers who have made their mark in business as entrepreneurs and who are also serving in the forefront in the battle against gender-based violence.
Today we meet two brothers who built successful businesses and are using that success as a platform to encourage others and of course to be father figures as well. Ningaindawo masidibane nawo amadoda emadodeni.
Meet our men of valor.
I'm Sandile Zungu. My other name is Muzi Wenkosi. The name I was given by my grandfather, saying his is the house of the Lord.
Yes, Manzini Zungu. I call myself a rural boy. We are the sons of Unozideya Unozinja, who in 1650, who was married to the king of the Zulus.
Sandile Donald Mzwenkosi Zungu is inspiring transformation through business empowerment. Sandile is a dedicated leader whose business influence now extends into the spheres of South African football as president of Amazulu FC.
I was raised in Durban at Mlazi. I schooled there, and when I got matric, I was offered a scholarship to do engineering at UCT. But first I had to do post-matric at Hilton College. So I trained as an engineer, completed that on time. Then I started working for Richards Bay Minerals, worked for Engine Refinery and the breweries as an engineer before I did my MBA to further my studies in finance and marketing. That's when my career took a different turn. I'm now in finance. I established my business in 2002, Zungu Investments Company, which is still running right now. Started on a shoestring budget and it's grown in terms of its stage and size to something that really is of significance.
Manzini Zungu, where there's opportunity, there's profitability. Perhaps this is the best narrative that describes this chief executive officer who at his most basic is an entrepreneur and has been one since his school days. Manzini sees life through a prism of opportunity and transformation. Manzini is the CEO of Pacinemax, his own thriving, creative and transformational firm.
In the industry, I'm known as a creative entrepreneur. I run my organization that is called Pacinemax. That is one of the things that, because it's a diverse organization, one of the things that is famous for is to handle and be in partnership with McDonald's in this country. Our work has hit global stage and we are proud of the work that we've delivered with our partners.
Together, the Zungu brothers have kicked off an initiative called My Enough is Our Enough.
South African men, our hands are full of blood of our women. We have failed them. We have failed our women. We have failed to protect them. Say it after me. Killed and set alight. Say it after me again. Precious Rabulan, raped and killed. Uyinene Mkhwetjane, tortured and killed inside the post office. Countless of South African women that have been killed by South African men. Let us stop making this country a killing field.
Every family has a matriarch who during the worst of times had kept the family going. And it just pains me how little appreciation we are showing for women in our midst. As men, let us cleanse. Join me in saying, my enough must be our enough.
With this platform, they wage war against gender-based violence, initiating dialogues with key figures in society with the aim of creating awareness and advocacy.
If you look at the lineage of the Zungu people, starting from way back to Nozidia, also known as Nozinja, the queen of Malandela, who gave birth to a son called Zulu, in whose honor the nation is named. Zulu Malandela was born of a Zungu woman. Almost 250 years later came another very powerful woman who gave birth to King Cetshwayo. Her name was Ngumbasi Kambondi Kajana. So now, when you draw the rich history of the Zungu people and you find such powerful women, surely that has got to inform us how to relate to women and how to lead our lives, because we have to honor these very important matriarchs in our lineage. So history is very important. You can't just be, rootless. They say a tree without roots cannot grow. So are we as humans. You've got to relate with where you come from. Where do you come from? Uzalwa ngobani, uqhamuka ngaphi? And not because it must serve as a source of sense of superiority. It must serve as a sense of a buoy that guides you. Where do I come from? Where must I head to? What sort of values and what sort of heritages must I honor? So we lead our lives in reverence to those before us who define who we are today.
I concur with my brother here. And if you look at our heritage, I mean, we here to talk about men of valor. We are made out of a woman. Where we come from, except the Zungu women that were able to be queens and raised kings. The nation that is called Uzulu today comes from the son of the Zungu woman. But if you look at where we come from through our heritage, that's why women uma ngabe babeshadile babebizwa unkosikazi, ngoba mangabe sebekhulumile everything was final and they were respected. That's where we get who we are, that we need to respect our women today, because it is not us to disrespect them. It is not us to harm them. It is not us to make them to be victimized. It is not us to make a woman that has been that fears abuse because he's been experiencing it through cyber. We are in a country whereby the victims, it's difficult for them to trust a man that needs to drive a daughter to school. A woman that cannot trust a colleague at work. A woman that cannot trust a priest at church. So when we look back, we know that this is all foreign to us as African people. Now we're not talking as people who come from KwaZulu, but as African people, a woman was always respected.
My name is Bachabile Pocho, and I am the Chief Financial Officer of Zungu Investments Company. So I specifically work for Mr. Sandile Zungu. He's my boss. He is the chairman of Zungu Investments Company. So from day one, I have worked very closely with him. So because I work very closely with Mr. Zungu, he's a very respectful man. I have seen him interact with women across all races and age gaps. And because he's such a respectful man, it's very difficult not to respect him as a person. And that's why he's such a respectable businessman. He's a very laid back person. So if you know him personally, you'll know that he's very chilled. He's the kind of person who will walk into everybody's office and greet and actually ask you like how you're doing on a personal level. And even though he's very chilled, but he also holds us to the highest level of excellence.
Manzini Zungu uses his CEO status to reflect the values and humanity that was once shown to him by others. Sandile leads the Black Business Council to be the definite voice and strategic center of power for Black business in South Africa.
We're doing this not just for women, but for our own sake as well. So the liberation of women is in our best interest. So it's not just an act of kindness, which we must show in any case, but it's about economic benefits that this country needs to realize. So it's very important that we as men, young and old, we step up and say no to the oppression of half of us, because we are shooting ourselves in our own feet. And in any case, we are born of mothers. So how can we so dishonor what brought us to this world? We have a responsibility to elevate it and do so actively.
It starts in a township, in a village. Young boys playing football, not to whistle when they see a girl child or usisi passing by while they are playing, because the teachings are there in a society, the teachings are there in the family. A young man is very important because we want to arrest it there. But how are we going to do that? By being good role models, by being available for mentorship. We cannot mentor the entire country, but if we do it collectively as men and we are aware of our role in the society, and we are aware of the role of women in our society as leaders, we can be able to win the battle.
Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed minds can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever did. The Zungu brothers, businessmen, men committed to building a better society, men amongst men, men of valor.
If there's one thing that the Zungu brothers have taught us, is that knowing where you come from contributes immensely to the success of your journey going forward. We all originate from women. Let us respect them, let us cherish them, and let us protect them. Igama lami nguweza Matomane. Join us again next time. Indoda Gezenzo.